Hey guys, did you see last week's episode of The Corn Shore?
No, I missed it. What happened?
Oh, it was crazy. Medea found out about Jason and his love affair, and it's all about to go down in this new episode.
It's a season finale, right? I can't wait.
In Medea, Euripides addresses the effects of alienation. Medea is a foreigner trying to adjust to her husband's rational and refined society of Corinth. Through her confrontation with the messenger, Medea reveals that she is a victim of both alienation and isolation. Euripides uses Medea's plight to sympathize with the powerlessness of women in unfamiliar environments.
Get crazy, get wild, let's party, get loud. If you want to have fun, do something.
Medea, you have committed a crime unholy and unspeakable. Get away, charioteership. It doesn't matter, but get away.
No, tell me first why I should run.
The princess is dead. Her father, too. Murdered by your poisons.
There could be no better news. Now and forever I will count you as my friend and savior. None of this would have ever happened if not for Jason. You know that, right?
What are you saying? Are you out of your mind? You've committed this crime beyond all horror against the royal house, and yet you rejoice and are not afraid? Whoa, this is intense already.
I know, right?
Even in the first scene, there's a lot of complexity here. Medea's already being pushed away after the messenger sees her plans going through, but she's still trying to be sympathetic by telling her to leave.
Yeah, it's starting to become evident throughout the last two episodes how powerless women are in Corinth.
Jason brought Medea's status, but once he left, she was isolated immediately.
Oh, guys, it's back on.
Everyone knows that Medea is not from around here, and she's only alienating herself further. Though I was close to her while I worked in the house Jason and her shared, this is vulgar. Really, though, who is to blame? She is looked down on because she isn't from Corinth, but after Jason left her, she's been completely isolated from our society. On the other hand, it was her choice to make this big scene in murdering, which is undeniably wrong, but it only serves to push her further away from the society around her.
I can answer that, but take your time. Tell me everything. How did they die? My pleasure will be twice as much as if they die in agony.
When your children came to the palace with their father and entered the quarters where the princess lived, we were all happy, those of us who had been saddened by your troubles. A whisper ran from the room from ear to ear that you had patched up your Jason. One of us kissed your children's hand, another their hair. I was so happy. I personally took them into the women's rooms. The mistress, yes, we now call her that in your place, didn't see the boys at first. She had eyes only for Jason. Then, I suppose, she resented the child's presence. She covered her eyes with a veil and turned her face away. Your husband tried to make peace with her. Don't be angry with those who love you, he said. Calm down and turn to look at us. You must think of those who love me as your friends too. They bring you gifts, take them from me, and ask your father to not send them into exile. When she saw the beauty of the gifts, she could not resist. She promised her husband all that he asked, and almost before he and the children had left, she took the robe and all its finery and put it on. Then she took the crown and put it on her falling curls. In fact, she began to arrange her hair in the mirror, smiling at the dead image.
After all this, Medea is still making an effort to fit in. Do you think she's being genuine, or does she have another agenda in her mind?
No way. She's totally got something planned. By now, it was obvious that Medea knew that the people of Corinth Shore were happy before she got there, and now she's trying to make a scene to try and get back at them for isolating her.
I mean, I totally get where Medea's coming from here. She's stuck in an unfamiliar environment and doesn't know what else to do. Before she lived on the shore, her life was surrounded by people prone to violence, so that's what she's always known.
Yeah, I agree. She's trying her hardest to overcome the differences between where she's from and where she is not to increase her status, but it's not seeming to work in her favor.
This is all really speaks to the society of the Greek women that the Greek women face. They are powerless, and their efforts to move up in the world are felt unnoticed. Therefore, Medea is trying to be bold and give the princess lavish gifts and make a big scene to solidify her power. Oh look, it's back on.
Please, do go on.
No, Medea. I think you're enjoying this too much. Maybe I should stop now.
Absolutely not. If anyone is to blame here, it is Jason. He abandoned me. He isolated me from the city that he brought me into. I spent time trying to change myself for him, and where is he now?
Understood, Medea.
She got up and began to stroll through the rooms, her feet white and bare, moving with a kind of delicacy and overjoyed with the gifts. Time and again she would stand on tiptoe and look down on the folds that caressed her ankles. Then it happened. What we saw was terror. She suddenly turned deathly white. She staggered, turned, her whole body in convulsions, and collapsed into a chair, or she would have fallen to the ground. One old servant, thinking it was a seizure of some kind, something God sent anyway, I suppose, began to pray. Then she saw the white foam bubbling from her mouth, her eyes rolling in their sockets, and the blood draining from her cheeks, and she began to scream. No more prayers, just a scream of grief. The morning had begun. One servant ran to Crayon's place, another to find Jason to tell him what was happening to his wife. The whole house echoed with the sound of footsteps running and running. All this happened so quick as a fast runner could circle the track. The girl was lying there, her eyes closed, not making a sound. Suddenly she screamed and came to. She was attacked on 2 fronts.
Could it get any better than this?
The golden crown on her head burned with an eerie flow of fire. The robe which your children had brought began to eat her soft flesh. She was tearing at her hair, trying to dislodge the crown. But the circle of gold seemed to tighten its grip, and she tossed her hair, and the flames blazed all the more fiercely. In agony she fell to the ground. Only a father could recognize her now. Her eyes, her face were a mass of fused flesh. Then her father, oh the poor man, suddenly came into the room. He didn't understand what was there before his eyes, and he threw himself on the body. He was sobbing as he kissed her. He cried out, "Oh, my darling, what has God done to you? I am old and ready for my grave. The cruelty of it all. Oh, let me join you in death, my daughter."
Wow.
I knew it, but that was a little too violent for my liking, really.
Yeah, but it all makes sense and keeps going back to the introduction of the show. Medea was isolated and she had to make bold strokes to get herself heard. She tried to change herself and it didn't work, so she resorted to violence.
And she definitely made a statement there.
But does Medea's alienation justify the ultimate suffering of the others, though?
Remember, she was kicked out of the house after Jason left, so she didn't really have anywhere else to go.
I wonder where it's going from here. What else does she have to prove? Her power is acknowledged. Who else has to suffer?
Medea, we understand why you're upset. We get it, but it's time for you to leave. For your safety as well as others, you must go.
I see how it is. Hey guys, can I join you?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I don't know what to do. It's Jason. First, he brings me into this town where I'm a total outsider. Then, he ditches me for the princess of his own town. And now, he sent the messenger to try to haunt me with the ideas of leaving before my plans are done. I just feel so alone right now. He took the kids, and now all I have is you guys.
This can't be happening to me. I can't fit in anywhere. I didn't ask for this to happen. Why can't anyone listen to me?
Medea, what's the point of all of this? The princess and the king are dead. You've caused enough destruction. It's time for you to just give us some space.
What do you mean? I thought we were friends. You can't just leave me. I need your help with the rest of my plan.
And make us look like you too? We just want a little space to grieve in peace, without being constantly reminded of a traitor.
Listen up. I am not at fault here. Who was stripped from her life and placed in an entirely new environment? One with no friends, no morals, and no loyalty. I was. I get it. I'm different. That's how I was raised. We have to agree to disagree on how we handle ourselves sometimes. You aren't better than me, and I'm trying as hard as I can to feel like I belong. I just need to understand that I'm trying. There's no way I can leave my children here stuck with Jason. I can't look at them and not feel a connection with him. I can't live like this. I'm going to figure out the rest of this plan with the only person left, me.